last session, you talked about the modern day tension, its impact on our life, and how the progressive muscle relaxation technique works. Is there any technique that I can practice anytime in the day? Because every time I sit down to either work on my computer or read about, I am filled with thoughts causing anxiety, disturbing my focus, and sometimes it becomes so much that I just close the book and lie down or start binge watching on my mobile.
Hi, Ariana. I think what you're saying is very interesting because I used to have a similar experience like this in the past where it felt like I was dragging myself to do any activity, even activities such as waking up in the morning, going to the kitchen, making something to a drink, or even calling a friend felt too tiresome for me. In fact, during my working even 30 minutes at a stretch felt so draining that I had to turn to social media or Instagram every hour because I wanted a break. But though it actually worsened my energy levels, the thoughts or emotions interfered with my ability to focus on my work, and I believe it drained me both mentally and physically.
So how did you manage to come out of this scenario?
So I think the way I overcame this scenario was there is this very simple yet powerful technique that I came across and practiced, which I will explain it now in this session, that brought instant relief from any stress or anxiety that I was experiencing. And this also boosted my energy levels of freshness so that I could focus on any work that I wanted to do. So in this practice, we are going to leverage the second lever of the mindful B3 method that we discussed in the episode 2. This is about the breath lever. The three levers that we discussed to develop our awareness and relaxation were the body, the breath, and the behavior. So today we are going to discuss or utilize the breath lever. The PMR technique that we learned before was related to the first lever on how do we improve our awareness and relaxation of the body. We learned how to become more aware of our muscle tension and how we can overcome that. Now coming to the second lever of the breath. The breath is actually a fascinating subject which we will study later. But for now, if I have to ask you, have you ever observed what happens to your breath pattern when you are tensed, either due to anxiety, stress, anger? So typically there are three broad changes that happens in our breath pattern. Number one is we start to breathe more rapidly, disrupting the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the body. For example, have you noticed when we are angry, how we behave? We start breathing like. So what happens when we are angry? We tend to breathe faster, more rapid. Second, our breathing becomes shallow. Since we are breathing fast, our breathing becomes shallow and incomplete, causing the feeling of breathlessness. So sometimes you have this feeling of breathlessness due to anxiety or stress. It's because our breath has become shallow. Also, all the muscles in our rib cage become very tense, making it difficult for the lungs to move out and up inside. And finally, sometimes we hold our breath involuntarily, disrupting the natural rhythm and increasing the buildup of carbon dioxide inside our lungs. This was only in the breath, but also apart from the breath, whenever we are tensed, our body becomes more stiff, our mind is filled with more disturbing thoughts.
Yes, I have these feelings of breathlessness during periods of tension and stress, but I have not giving much attention to my breath pattern. Also, it's easy to also drain my immediate levels. How do we go about it?
So I think we can use breath as a lever to relax our body and our mind and help us focus on the activity that we want to do. If I'm able to adjust or calibrate my breath, I can dial down the tension that was actually causing the breath to change. So the breath techniques that we will use to calibrate are called the double breathing method, and we will also learn one more technique which is known as the square breathing method. So we will use these two methods to calibrate our breath, by which we can also tone down or dial down the tension in our body and mind. But before I explain you how these techniques work, let us practice these techniques. I can demonstrate it to you on how these work and how we can practice it. And after that I can explain how these techniques work. So first we will practice the double breathing method of relaxation. To practice this, you can come to sit in a comfortable position in a chair with your hands on the side of your chair or on your lap. Next, in this technique we will do double breathing, and that's why it's called double breathing method. We inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. I will demonstrate and show you how we inhale. For inhalation, we take two inhalations. The first one is short and the second one is long. So the inhalation is like, and exhalation is through your mouth. The first exhalation is slow, the second exhalation is long. Just to repeat it again, the double inhalation and the double exhalation is. When we exhale, we create a sound when we make it, and the second exhalation is much longer than the first one. While we are doing this technique, we also clench our body, we clench our fists, we tighten our entire body by contracting the muscles as we inhale, and as we exhale we release the fist and also release the tension from the body. And third, there is a certain hold between inhalation and exhalation. So we double inhale, tense our body, clench our fists, and we hold. And as we are holding, we visualize all of the low energy thoughts, emotions which are disturbing us coming towards the breath, just like how a magnet attracts all the metals around it. We hold for a few seconds, and then when we exhale, we double exhale, and along with this we release the contraction, and we also visualize all of these low energy negative thoughts flowing away from you. So let me show you the technique again. We can also close our eyes as we practice. It's helpful to focus on the technique. First I take a double inhalation. I clench my fist, I tighten my entire body, I hold, and I visualize all of this low energy negative thoughts such as anxiety, any anger, any stress coming towards my breath, and now I throw them all out in a double exhalation. I visualize them moving away from me, and I also release the tension in my body. So this is the first technique. Maybe we can practice it once, and after this I can teach you the second technique. Okay, sit in a comfortable position. You can keep your eyes closed, arms on your lap. Try to keep your back straight. relax for a few moments here. Now we begin with the double inhalation. Inhale through your nose 2 times. Hold. Clench your body, tighten your hands. Visualize all of the negative energy, any low energy thoughts or stress, anxieties that is impacting you to come towards your breath. Now throw them all out in a double exhalation through your mouth and release the tension from your body as you do this. We practice this one more round. Double inhale through your nose. Clench your fists, tighten your body. Visualize all of your anxiety, stress or any emotions coming towards one point near your breath. Now throw them all out in a double exhalation format and release the tension from your body and visualize all of this anxiety or stress moving away from you as you do this. Relax. For the next technique, which is the square breathing or the box breathing, we inhale for the same count, we retain the breath for the same count, we exhale for the same count, and we retain for the same count. And that is why it is known as the square or the box breathing. Typically we use the count of 4 or 5. For example, we close our eyes, we inhale through the nose for a count of 4. We retain the breath for 4. We exhale through the mouth for 4. We retain the breath for 4. Then again we start with inhalation. We inhale for the count of 4. We retain the breath for 4. We exhale for 4. We hold the exhalation for 4. This is a very simple technique. You can choose a count of 4. If you are able to do 4 comfortably, you can also choose 5. Maybe we practice this technique once as well. Okay. Okay, sit in a comfortable position. Keep your back straight, eyes closed. Now inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your exhalation. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain your exhalation. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can continue to do this for a few more rounds. The count of 4 is just a guideline. You can adjust the duration to what feels comfortable for you. You can also choose a count of 5 or 6 as per what suits you the best. So if I have to explain you how these two techniques work, starting with the double exhalation or the double breathing method. The double breathing method was given by the famous monk known as Paramahansa Yogananda. It consists of a short inhalation followed by a long inhalation through the nose. Similarly, it has a short exhalation followed by a long exhalation through the mouth. This technique is actually a masterpiece as it works on all the three aspects: your breath, your body, and your mind. At the breath level, we empty the lungs and fill the lungs more completely than your regular breathing. Also, this technique causes our breath pattern to change from a rapid, shallow breathing to a more relaxed, deep, and slow breathing. And at the level of your body, at the body aspect, we tense and relax the body muscles in this technique. Thereby, we also release any accumulated tension in our muscles. And as we discussed earlier, the mental tension gets converted to muscle tension and we release it. Third, on the mind level, if you remember the technique, we visualize all of the negative thoughts, your self-doubts, your disturbing emotions. It comes to one point and we throw them all away during our exhalation. So thereby we remove or eliminate any disturbing thoughts from our mind. So this technique, though very simple, has a very profound impact of relaxation on us. And once we have thrown away our disturbing thoughts such as emotion, restlessness, we can then begin to balance and calm our mind. And this is where the second technique or the square breathing comes in. When we do a uniform count of inhalation, retention and exhalation, we are harmonizing the breathing pattern. We are able to calm and relax our mind because of following a certain pattern. And in both these techniques, we inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth, creating a sound of relaxation like these techniques are very short. It takes less than 2 minutes for both of them together and can be practiced anywhere, anytime. Specifically, you can practice before engaging into an activity, such as before your Zoom meeting, or before going on the stage, or before reading your book. And you can practice these two techniques and then mentally affirm that for the next 30 minutes or 1 hour, I will give all my attention to my activity, and any distracting thoughts, I will deal with them later. So by these two techniques, we are able to fill ourselves with more energy, more focus, reduce our distracting thoughts, and thereby improving our efficiency at the work.
Thank you. This is so useful. How many rounds of these techniques can we practice?
You can practice around 5 to 6 rounds of each of these techniques. So it takes 1 minute plus 1 minute, so totally around 2 minutes. And you can practice this many times on a daily basis, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, in the night. Even before sleep, we can practice this to let out all our stress or anxiety so that we can have a more relaxed and calmful sleep. You can feel the difference immediately or very instantly when you practice this technique. Your body is more relaxed, your mind is more calm, your breath is more harmonious. If you're more scientific oriented and you want some external evidence and you prefer that over your own experience, you can also take your smartwatch, such as an Apple Watch, and try to measure your breath rate and heart rate before doing these two techniques and after doing these two techniques. I personally tried doing that and I could clearly see a difference, that my breath was able to relax more, my heart rate actually came down by doing these two techniques. So in our fast-paced world where we are so busy in our work and activities, these micro relaxation strategies play a great role in helping us unwind, release tension and let go of any stress of either mental or physical strain.
How does this technique differ from other relaxation methods, such as taking a walk or spending time in nature?
So I think today, whatever relaxation activities we are doing, such as traveling, taking a walk, or spending time with nature, we are taking our tension with us. We are taking our tension wherever we go. For example, even when you are running or walking or even watching a cinema, you are thinking about perhaps the fight you had with your partner, the issues you had with your boss or your team. Even in vacation, our mind is still carrying these thoughts. So to truly unwind, we need to consciously and intentionally transition from a state of tension and stress to a state of relaxation and ease. And this is where the breath techniques come in very useful. These two techniques are the quickest and the most effective way to transition to a state of calmness and balance. For example, when you have a meeting or an interview starting in 5 minutes and you suddenly receive a text from your partner or your family which makes you sad, upset or angry, and you're disturbed, you cannot tell everyone in the meeting that let us have the meeting later. After 1 hour, I want to go for a walk or a run. You need to take the meeting in 5 minutes, but your mind is very disturbed. So what do? If you enter this meeting with all the stress and anxiety, you might not be able to perform well, and this might even affect your work. But what you can do here is follow these micro relaxation techniques where you can quickly and intentionally unwind yourself and release the stress or anxiety so that you can focus on your meeting or interview. So yes, playing a sport, taking time in nature, going for a run, reading a book, listening to music, they are great ways to unwind our body and mind. But these activities cannot be done randomly in between our work or when we are traveling. There are so many small triggers which are disturbing us today. We need a more quicker and more effective way to unwind from the pressures and demands of daily life. And so I would suggest that you try these techniques. Let me know if they are useful for you. And if you have any questions, you can always feel free to let me know sometime. Thank you.
Thank you. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you.